Good morning. We are here today live from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to present the Italian candidature to World Expo 2030. As General Director for the Candidature Committee, I'm responsible for guaranteeing the engagement of all the relevant stakeholders. Then, Minister of Foreign Affairs Di Maio will reiterate the government's support for the Expo as an opportunity for international outreach, not only for our capital, but more generally for Italy and Europe. Ambassador Massolo, chairman of the Candidature Committee, will elaborate on the importance of the connection between people and their territory. After a brief video, the Mayor of Rome, Roberto Gualtieri, will discuss the values and themes the city can stand for. In the screen, you can see now an image of the building set up in 1939 to host the Expo Committee, which was cancelled because of World War II. Today, we want to convert from the classic concept of Roma Caput Mundi to the new idea of a city of the third millennium and a great European capital.
Mr. President of the General Assembly of the Bureau International des Expositions, dear Secretary General, dear delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to announce here today, on behalf of the Italian government, that Prime Minister Mario Draghi has expressed Italy's desire to host in Rome the 2030 World Expo with a formal letter to the Secretary General on October 7, 2021. The World Expo of 2030 will be a flagship event since it falls close to the centenary of the Bureau. It will be a unique opportunity to make an overall assessment of the Bureau's activities. Today, 170 countries are part of the Bureau, sharing the mission of exhibiting and disseminating the tools at our disposal to meet the needs of civilization and to overcome the challenges of the future. This noble mission deserves our full and constant commitment. Italy is proud to be part of it among the 11 founding countries of the Bureau. In this spirit, 15 years after Expo Milan, the Italian government, in partnership with the city of Rome, its citizens, the local authorities, and the country as a whole, presents today its bid to hold the World Expo of 2030 in Rome, the Eternal City, from 25 April to 25 October under the title People and Territories, Urban Regeneration, Inclusion and Innovation. Over the last decades, our societies and our cities have experienced the effects of globalization and digitalization, which were further stressed by the COVID-19 pandemic. These trends go beyond the physical space that we share, erasing distances and suggesting a possible decline in urban concentration. However, even in this context, cities never stop attracting people because our desire for social interaction prevails above all. Our cities are the expression of human activity. They grow and develop around their inhabitants' needs and aspirations. They are transformed thanks to the ideas and creativity of their citizens. This is the theme for Rome Expo 2030. Our idea of city is inclusive and polycentric, offering the same opportunities and access to services to every inhabitant in terms of infrastructures and cultural, social, and human development. It is a city that aims at achieving Sustainable Development Goal number 11 of the UN 2030 Agenda to make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, and sustainable. The pandemic has pushed us to accelerate the transformation of our cities into smart cities through the integration of innovation technologies, energy, infrastructures, communication, mobility, safety, and environment protection. These endeavors have also been at the core of Italy's agenda as G20 presidency in 2021. Expo Rome is willing to take up this legacy, counting on an active interaction with the Bureau to identify long-term strategies and responses on our path towards 2030. For 28 centuries, Rome has always been a capital of art, culture, dialogue, creativity in a constant process of regeneration. Rome's many stratifications show the continuous human activity transforming the human fabric, the image of a city that is never static. All roads lead to Rome, is the ancient saying. Even today, the eternal city welcomes more than 30 million tourists per year. Around 50 million passengers transit through its airports. It hosted important events such as the 2016 Jubilee, which attracted more than 20 million people. The next Jubilee in 2025 will represent a bridge towards Expo 2030. Moreover, this is a nationwide endeavor. Rome is at the center of Italy and within easy reach of other world-famous destinations in the country. The 50 most touristic towns in Italy welcomed over 180 million visitors in 2019 before the pandemic. Its location in the heart of Mediterranean, connecting Europe, Africa, and the Middle East places Rome in the perfect spot to grant the success of the Expo 2030 in terms of participation, visitors, and visibility. Dear delegates, in the coming months, you will evaluate excellent applications and qualified projects. I'm confident that you will pay special attention to the candidature of Rome, a city that offers a set of unique qualities and outstanding assets in the historical moment marking the centenary of the Bureau International des Expositions. Thank you for your kind attention.
Mr. President, Mr. Secretary General, dear delegates, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to this very first presentation of the candidature of the city of Rome. As chairman of the candidature committee, I would like to speak about the journey we undertook in imagining our project for Rome Expo 2030, whose title is People and Territories, Urban Regeneration, Inclusion and Innovation. Where did we start from? The themes of the most recent Universal Expositions share the quest to improve the quality of life by promoting sustainable behavioral models for our planet. We want to continue pursuing the themes and approaches set by previous editions. But our aim is also to propose and stimulate flexible solutions for a future ever-changing world. Our proposal for the Rome Expo 2030 took all this as its starting point, but also including the objectives of the Sustainable Development Agenda developed in 2015 by the United Nations, which feature prominently in our project. Humanity is at a crucial crossroads in its history, which requires a new sense of community. The pandemic has painfully taught us that only united can we hope to meet the global challenges of our time. The spaces we live in mirror all the problems we face and highlight the widespread need for new ideas and innovative solutions. We need new physical, civil, and social architecture. So why this title? We have therefore focused on the broader significance of the relationship between persons and local contexts, because we believe that reviewing this relationship is a crucial issue for all of us, an issue that cannot be sidestepped to ensure the future of all countries, no matter the level of development. This has led to the idea of entitling our Universal Exposition, as I told, People and Territories, Urban Regeneration, Inclusion and Innovation. In the coming years, the rate of urbanization at the world level will rise exponentially. This will engender a threefold challenge: redesigning urban spaces based on sustainable models, re-establishing a dialogue between cities and their surrounding areas, ensuring that people and their needs are once again the main focus of local developments. We intend to face up to and win this challenge. This is a challenge for all. No city can really call itself inclusive. What's our goal? Through Rome Expo 2030, we mean to provide the world with a showcase where every county can present projects and best practices for others designed to become, once again, livable contexts. Together with you, We want to come up with neighborhoods based on the concept of proximity, interconnected, functional, and sustainable from an environmental and economic standpoint. So why Rome? Because Rome is a cosmopolitan city by its very nature, constantly undergoing renovation. It fully embodies this ambition of ours. The history and geography consistently reflect the principles we want to uphold with this universal exposition in 2030, with contemporary Rome that provides us with an ideal stage for any international event. A stage that is already preparing to welcome millions of visitors from all over the world for the Great Jubilee to take place in 2025, as the minister has just said. An extraordinary event and a pattern of inclusion that we will turn into an opportunity to improve the city's infrastructure, its services, and its accommodation capacity. That's where our journey comes back, coherently where everything started, after the extraordinary experiences of Milan, Dubai, and Osaka. Our proposal is couched in the thousands of years of Rome's history, but it also has a great faith in the scientific discoveries and the technological developments of our time. And that's why our project has assigned a fundamental role to innovation. We firmly believe that we must leverage our past to improve our future. We want to achieve all this here in Rome, in Italy, here where the word's eternal takes on a new meaning every day, here where evolution is eternal. Thank you so much for your attention.
For almost 3,000 years, I have grown greatly. I have changed, innovated, and reshaped myself. I took the world by storm. I conquered it, surrendered to it, but have always rose again. I was the first to be home to 1 million people. I was the first to embrace a multicultural society. The first to create a network of roads which connected people and new ideas. I nurtured leaders and visionaries. I am a melting pot of cultures and beliefs. I hosted gatherings and major international events. I am known in the world for the richness of my cultural and scientific research. I have built wondrous technological and scientific hubs and a solid and diversified production system. I am the cradle of the largest number of parks, natural reserves, and the biggest agricultural system in Europe. I am open-minded, inclusive, dynamic, and sustainable. Throughout the centuries, I have reinvented myself many, many times. My name is Roma, and I am ready to be reborn again.
Mr. President, dear Secretary General, dear delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me as a mayor to present Rome as a candidate to host the World Exposition of 2030. Cities are at the heart of the great challenge we face to achieve sustainable and inclusive development. As has already happened many times in the past, the great transformations and crises of our time, digital transition, climate change, growing inequality, demographic transformation, migration, and now the pandemic, are changing the relationship between peoples and territories. By 2050, around 70% of the world's population will be living in cities. As a result, rethinking the relationship between people and city dwelling is a challenge which is of a crucial and global relevance. Our aim is to make urban regeneration the core concept of Expo 2030. We want to address this concept in a broad and comprehensive way, focusing on sustainability, innovation, and inclusion, in accordance with the objectives of the UN 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. A green regeneration based on a positive integration between the city and its natural environment, one that actively helps to reduce emissions and streamline the ecological transition. A smart regeneration promoting the role of cities as innovation incubators and supporting public policies and businesses with next-generation digital networks, services, and research infrastructures. An inclusive regeneration, which enables cities to provide services that are close to the people and reduce inequalities. Rome is the ideal place to host an expo on this topic and provide a setting where different countries can present their best practices and projects. I will give you 5 reasons why this is so. First, Rome is a unique city where thousands of years of history are on display. In Rome, one can see how relations between peoples and their territories have evolved over the centuries. For Sigmund Freud, Rome was a metaphor of different layers of human memory. Like humanity, cities too have to find a way to review their past in order to plan their future. An evolving city like Rome is the ideal place to frame such a discussion. Second, Rome is a city with one of the most extensive green belts in the world, with thousands of acres of public parks and urban green spaces and more agricultural land than any other municipality in Europe. The environmental features and waterworks are evenly distributed throughout the city and interwoven with Rome's urban layout. This integration between the city and the countryside, as well as the close links between past and present, offer great potential for ambitious urban regeneration strategies. A regeneration that must revolve around sustainability and consider the relationship between its citizens and their living environment a core value. Third, Rome is a bastion of culture and science. University and research centers, as well as academies from all over the world, have departments in Rome, and there are strong connections with international cultural and knowledge networks. After all, Rome was not built by Romans alone. Peoples, experience, and contamination from all over the world contributed to its development. We want to call on these international academies and universities to focus on the various themes proposed by the Expo. Our aim is to activate partnerships and cooperation with them, as well as with other cities and countries, to support research, studies, urban projects, social and technological innovations, conferences, master and doctorate programs, and much besides. Fourth, Rome is traditionally an open and inclusive city. Today, we are actively engaged in an investment program that, in addition to improving the infrastructural endowment of the city, also aims to bridge social gaps and inequalities. Our ideal city is polycentric and based on service proximity, on care and relationships between people. The active involvement of civil society will play an important role in attaining this goal through partnerships and subsidiarity. Finally, the upcoming 2025 Jubilee in Rome will send a powerful message of inclusion, solidarity, and hope. It will be a very important step towards relaunching Rome's cosmopolitan vocation and its promotion of intercultural and interreligious dialogue. This event will also provide us with a chance to upgrade the city's already substantial accommodation so we can welcome tens of millions of visitors in a safe and hospitable context. The city administration and the government's efforts in implementing the Next Generation EU plan and in preparing the Jubilee will further enhance our capacity to put the eternal city and its marvels at the service of a great global event like the 2030 World Exposition. We are waiting for you. Thank you for your attention. Je vous remercie pour votre attention.